we got a lot going on in North Carolina, and I tell people I have the very best job in state government because most of the time my job is to go out there and sell a great product, which is our state and our people. But the first priority for me in the job, what's been the first priority for Governor Stein, might surprise people for the Department of Commerce, and that's been Hurricane Helene recovery in western North Carolina. And I know the viewers of this program know it well, but it's by far the most devastating natural disaster that we've ever had in the state of North Carolina. We lost more than 100 North Carolinians to the storm, and it's a $60 billion storm. And so the Department of Commerce has got a number of different initiatives that we've engaged on to help with recovery. But the largest of these is that Governor Stein, in his first day in office, created a new division within the department, a division of community revitalization, which is responsible for administering the large federal grant that we receive from Housing and Urban Development for primarily housing recovery. So one thing that's a little bit unknown about hurricane or natural disaster recovery is that funds for housing really come at the end because it's the expectation of the federal government that all the other funds are expended first, insurance funds, nonprofit, whatever you may have.
Really interesting.
And really the funds of last resort is this appropriated funds, it's not automatic, that come to the state, in this case a $1.4 billion grant to focus on housing recovery, primarily single family homeowners, and really those that are most at risk and have the least amount of resources to help themselves to recover. So we'll be focused on relatively low to moderate income families, those with disabilities, those who may be elderly. And we will launch this program later this summer. And that's really been job one out of the gate, is focusing on Helene recovery.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. So the first question I have to follow up on that is, I spent a lot of time in Western North Carolina myself, and I was there right after the hurricane and saw some of the destruction myself, and as you mentioned, just absolutely unreal. Is that enough money?
It's not. So $60 billion storm, if you look at all in between federal and state public resources, what's come to the state, it's around, I want to say, $15 billion. And it's not anticipated that public resources will cover all of the need, but we know that's well short of what we need. And Governor Stein has made additional asks of the federal government, I think an additional $14 or $15 billion of them, of which an additional $3 or $4 billion would go into this housing recovery program. Again, there are other sources. There's private insurance. There's a host of different ways that people can receive help. But these public resources are totally necessary, and it's not just housing. It's roads, water and sewer, all of the network utilities and infrastructure that we need to help the region recover. And one thing, if I could just add to it, is business recovery has been a real challenge out there, because it is an area that is so dependent upon travel and tourism. The storm hit at the peak of their season, right there as we were going into fall, and it takes a long time for them to recover. So the General Assembly has appropriated to the department, another one of our programs, a small business infrastructure program where we have $55 million that we will put on the street to local governments to help them repair their downtowns. Fix sidewalks, fix facades, fix water and sewer, anything that we can help on the public side that would make it easier for a tourist to get to a business and spend money in that community. But what we don't have is any programming that goes directly to small businesses like we had in COVID-19.